Ninjago Masters of Spinjitzu is a Canadian animated television series based off the Danish toys named by the name of, well, Lego. If you're somehow not familiar with this show, it was created by Tommy Andreasen, first premiering over 12 years ago in 2011. After the pilots first aired in 2011, the series quickly gained a huge following that would bring the show with them as they grow up. And during 2017, the franchise seemed basically unstoppable. The franchise going on to have many video game, book, and comic book adaptations, expanding the story more outside of just the show, and even a movie coming out later that year. However, that all seemed to come to a stop during the 7th season titled Hands of Time, where fans showed strong disinterest and dislike for the show at that time, as, well, Hands of Time was definitely one of the worst, if not the worst season of the show we've ever gotten to date. In fact, the creators were even planning on at one point having that be the final season of the show, so things were not looking good during Hands of Time. But luckily, the show decided to keep going, and in 2018, we got the release of Season 8, Sons of Garmadon. After a very lackluster season, Sons of Garmadon came here to show that this show does not want to play around, and it is here to stay. This season brought a whole new breath of life into the series, reviving the show's popularity and interest in the fan base. So in today's video, I wanted to discuss my favorite season, Sons of Garmadon, and why I think this season ultimately saved Ninjago. Hi there. Welcome back to the Garmadork channel. On the channel, I like to discuss all things Lego, particularly in the Ninjago fashion, but I do like to do I am trying to do the whole wide range of Lego, I should say. And if you are new here, I want to thank you guys for joining this video. And real quickly, before we get into why I think Sons of Garmadon saved Ninjago, I want to thank my channel members for supporting this channel and videos just like this. If you guys do want to see how you can join this membership, get exclusive access to emojis and streams and all that kind of stuff, be sure to hit the join button to view how. Thank you guys for watching this video, and now, let's get back into the video, huh? From its opening scene to its ending scene, Sons of Garmadon throws you in an action-packed adventure full of story, plot twists, and epicness that we've never seen before in a season of Ninjago. With the storyline this time around focusing on a gang of criminals who want to resurrect Lord Garmadon from the dead to rule Ninjago. This new storyline and new motivation and group of villains is a welcome change from the previous other bad guys and storylines we've had that have gotten repetitive and predictable, with this season leaving you on your seat the entire time, wondering what is going to happen, actually leaving room for speculation and theories, which we haven't had with a lot of other seasons. The elements introduced in this season were a welcomed, brand new take on the show, leaving viewers more excited to see how the story and the world would unfold and where the characters would develop from this point forward. Firstly, I want to talk about one of the major things that made this season feel so fresh and new in its ideas and execution, and that is the villains. The Sons of Garmadon were a new and unique and formidable enemy to the storyline of Ninjago. This group of villains who think they're in the right in bringing back Garmadon because they don't believe that the ninja are capable of saving the city is something that at that point we had never really seen in this show before. One of the things that made the villains so engaging was the fact that we had actually gotten to spend time with them, some of the times without even knowing that, in the case of Harumi. In one of the best plot twists in this show, it was revealed that Harumi was actually the leader of the Sons of Garmadon, which is where we get the reveal of the motivation behind this team, thinking that the ninja just aren't capable to take care of Ninjago, which was a really interesting and well-written character motivation, connecting all the way back to the Battle of the Great Devourer that took place during the finale of the show's first season. We also got to spend time with a lot of the other members because Zane, if you remember, went undercover during the season, which again let us spend some time with them and really trying to figure out what are their goals, and seeing that a lot of these characters were pretty funny, pretty cool to hang around with if, you know, you're part of the villain team. If not, they might try and kill you. But the point is, we actually got to spend a lot of time with the villains and see how they live and what their ideals and beliefs are, and why they want to resurrect Garmadon. Not just that they want to resurrect Garmadon, and they are not evil for the sake of being evil, except maybe Ultraviolet. She's a different story. That is just one of the things that made this season feel so different from the other seasons, was the villain factor, and that we had really good villains with really good motivations, and not just, hey, you know what, I kind of want to take over Ninjago today. But great villains weren't the only thing that this season had up its sleeve. The character development in this season was on another level and was a huge factor that helped this season become as popular as it is. Though this season was mainly focused on Lloyd and Lloyd's relationship with his father and Harumi, there was still room for all the other ninja to have a little bit of development and shine throughout the episodes here and there, specifically Cole. As I can remember, him and his flashbacks with Master Wu, and that was something that this season did so beautifully, was flashback to how the ninja met Master Wu, besides Kai, because we already saw that in the pilot. Though most of the spotlight did get given to Lloyd, as he had to confront his father's legacy and his own insecurities and how that affected him as a character, and really what is going on with this new group and how that plays into his whole character was just beautifully done. The aspect of Lloyd and Harumi's relationship and how Harumi kind of led him on, and that just built there to her betrayal in the episode, with Lloyd really feeling like he had someone to connect with and finally feeling like he found someone for himself, only for her to turn around, try and kill him, and bring his dad back from the dead. Well, yeah. Lloyd had it pretty rough this season, and we really got to connect with him on a deep level and really see how Lloyd has grown as a character, especially looking back at the first season. But I would have to say, for me, the standout from this season was Harumi, and I think that's what made this season so special, was that the villain's motivations weren't end-the-world level motivations. She just wanted to do what she thought was right to protect Ninjago and keep people safe, and she was willing to do whatever it took to get there. The character of Harumi is something I want to dive deep to in another video, or at least Harumi pre-crystallized, because that's a whole nother conversation. The fact that we got a villain that was so personal to the audience, so open, and so personal to the ninja and the ninja's upbringing from the first season really made this season's villains feel like they were something that we had never seen before, and something that tied back to the origins of this great story, paying legacy to what came before in the form of the greatest villain the show has ever got, all making the reveal of Harumi being the quiet one all the more bittersweet, because you're like, whoa, that's such a great, insane villain story. But the way she connected with Lloyd in the previous episodes, with them really becoming friends and possibly seeming like it would go in an even more direction with them maybe becoming a thing. When we get to that point in the cave and she starts to kill Lloyd, it really does hurt, because you do feel how hurt Lloyd is, but Lloyd doesn't stop fighting, and that's one of the things that made Lloyd so great this season, was his drive to keep going and keep fighting to stop this from happening. Just so many interesting character decisions and character choices were happening, from Lloyd versus Garmadon, Lloyd and Harumi, and just all of the ninja coming together this season to figure out what is going on. And I love the way they handled Lloyd, figuring out that this group of villains wants to bring his dad back from the dead, and how that took a toll on Lloyd and his emotional state this season. While the character and storylines were phenomenal in this season, there's no doubt about that, I also want to give huge props to the animation that showed up in this season. This was a huge significant factor that helped the show and helped really tell the story that they wanted to tell within this season, especially after the downgraded animation we had during the 7th season. They really needed to do something to make this scene better. And they did. Sons of Garmadon had more dynamic and fluid movements to help immerse viewers in the world. And speaking of the world, the background, the backdrops, the city, the landscapes, everything was beautiful in this season. Where previous seasons were filled with animation errors, characters' hair missing, characters wearing the wrong suits, the wrong character speaking, it was pretty bad in some of the older seasons. I'm gonna be honest. Now thinking about it, some of the other seasons were just, I don't know how we got that far. But that all turned around with Sons of Garmadon, with them giving the best animation, best fight scenes, best everything they could thrown into this epic season. Sorry, I had to emphasize just how epic this season was, if I haven't already. Along with a visually stunning season, we had a musically stunning season. One of the best things about this season, and one of the things I keep going back to it for, is the amazing music that plays throughout every single scene in this season. No, I'm being serious. Go to literally any scene from Sons of Garmadon and you are almost guaranteed to get an amazing soundtrack that without a doubt always adds an extra layer of depth, emotion to the scene and to the show in general. One of the things this season did so well was understanding how music can help to improve a story and up the level of emotion in a scene. And wow, they really used that tool, being the tool of music, to their fullest potential in Sons of Garmadon. And of course, we cannot forget the voice acting this season. It seems like everyone gave it their all, especially Sam Vincent coming in as Lloyd for this season. His first time as Lloyd, he blew it away. He came here and said, I'm gonna prove to the fans that I am Lloyd and why they cast me as Lloyd. And he was here. He was not playing games. He was here to take that MVP status. And that's not to say Sam Vincent was the only one who gave a thrilling performance in Sons of Garmadon. I mean, everybody did. Kirby Morrow, Brent Miller, Vincent Tong. When I say everybody, I mean everybody. New and old cast members gave this season everything they had. To the writers, voice actors, the music, the animators, everyone wanted to make Sons of Garmadon as special as they possibly could. And that is why I think Sons of Garmadon saved the show. Everyone involved knew they had to do something special to bring the show back up to the level of standard that they wanted to be. Actually, I'd argue they even brought the show up to a brand new, even better standard than it was ever at before. And that is how Sons of Garmadon saved Ninjago. And that is how Sons of Garmadon saved Ninjago. Now, my cat wanted to be seen for this video, so here he is. My little loaf. But yes, that is how Sons of Garmadon saved Ninjago. Now, if you guys did enjoy this video, please remember to hit that subscribe button and hit that like. Be sure to let me know what you guys think of Sons of Garmadon down below. Once again, I want to give a huge thank you over to my channel members and to all of you for watching this video and sticking with me to the end. If you haven't yet, be sure to enter my giveaway for Ninjago Quest of the Lost Powers in this video right here if you guys want to enter that giveaway. And once again, thank you guys so very much for watching. I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your day, and I will see you in the next video. Peace out.